vyaktam yena characharam tatpadam darshitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ajnanati mirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurumilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Stavaram Jangadam Vyaktam Yat Kichit Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Bhavaji Vyapi Yat Sarvam Trilokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sarva Shuddhi Shiroragna Virajita Padam Bujaha Vedantam Buja Suryoya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chaitanya Shashvata Shanto Yomatito Niranjanaha Bindunada Kalatita Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jnana Shakti Samaruda Tattvamala Vibhushitaha Bhukti Mukti Pradata Cha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Aneka Janma Samprapta Karma Bandha Vidayine Atmajnana Pradhanena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shoshanam Bhava Sindosha Jnapanam Sara Sampadaha Guru Padodakam Samyak Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Na Guru Radhikam Tattvam Na Guru Radhikam Tapaha Tattva Jnanat Param Nasti Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Manata Shri Jagannatha Madguru Shri Jagadguru Mamatma Sarva Bhutatma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Guru Radhiranadishcha Guru Paramadaivatam Guru Parataram Nasti Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tvameva Mata Chatika Tvameva Tvameva Bandhushya Saka Tvameva Tvameva Vidyandravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Santa Pita Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Jai Guru Deva Namo Namah Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadguru Deva Namo Namah. Jai Guru Deva Namo Namah Shri Vishwananda Namo Premavatara Namo Namah Sadguru Deva Namo Namah. Jai Guru Deva Namo Namah Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadguru Deva Namo Namah. Jai Guru Deva Namo Namah Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadguru Deva Namo Namah. Jai Guru Deva Namo Namah Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadguru Deva Namo Namah. Premavatara Namo Namah Sadgurudeva Namo Namah Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah Sri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadgurudeva Namo Namah Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadgurudeva Namo Namah Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadgurudeva Namo Namah Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadgurudeva Namo Namah Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadgurudeva Namo Namah Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadgurudeva Namo Namah Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadgurudeva Namo Namah Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadgurudeva Namo Namah Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadgurudeva Namo Namah Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadgurudeva Namo Namah Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadgurudeva Namo Namah Jai Gurudeva Namo Namah Shri Vishwananda Namo Namah Premavatara Namo Namah Sadgurudeva Namo Namah Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai 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 Guru Jai Guru Jai Shri Vishwananda Jai Om Mahavatara Shishaya Namaha Om Vishamaya Namaha Om Devakarya Samudhyataya Namaha Om Sukshmatanave Namaha Om Chinmayaya Namaha, Om Gurumurtaye Namaha, Om Sundaraya Namaha, Om Surochanaya Namaha, Om Sumukhaya Namaha, Om Charvasaya Namaha, Om Keshavaya Namaha, Om Padmambujaya Namaha, Om Mandagamanaya Namaha, Om Charumbardharine Namaha, Om Ramaya Namaha, Om Mandirastapakaya Namaha, Om Shri Bhavachakaya Namaha, Om Gayatri Achvane Namaha, Om Arpanasvikarakaya Namaha, Om Vishnu Pujakaya Namaha, Om Namo Narayanayeeti Mantrapasakaya Namaha, Om Svaramayaya Namaha, Om Madhurakantaya Namaha, Om Krishna Sankirtana Lolopaya Namaha, Om Stotra Priyaya Namaha, Om Mita Bhashine Namaha, Om Vagnine Namaha, Om Chitrakala Visharadaya Namaha, Om Vratadharaya Namaha, Om Sadhave Namaha, Om Jagatpantaya Namaha, Om Sarvalokahitaya Namaha, Om Bhaktapriyaya Namaha, Om Surdaya Namaha, Om Anukulaya Namaha, Om Neyaya Namaha, Om Sudarshanaya Namaha, Om Bhaktavatsalaya Namaha, Om Premamurtaye Namaha, Om Shubhekshanaya Namaha, Om Pritivardhanaya Namaha, Om Swastidayakaya Namaha, Om Tarakaya Namaha, Om Anugrahaya Namaha, Om Vardhanaya Namaha, Om Architaya Namaha, Om Artaya Namaha, Om Siddhipradaya Namaha, Om Janardhanaya Namaha, Om Manoharaya Namaha, Om Mahakshaya Namaha, Om Siddheshwaraya Namaha, Om Bhasmabhushitaya Namaha, Om Atmalingaya Namaha, Om Lingakshana Prosahakaya Namaha, Om Siddhisadanaya Namaha, Om Madhavaya Namaha, Om Karpasakaya Namaha, Om Sukshmaya Namaha, Om Vishokaya Namaha, Om Sadvikaya Namaha, Om Samadashine Namaha, Om Dakshaya Namaha, Om Achintyaya Namaha, Om Niramkaraya Namaha, Om Nirmohaya Namaha, Om Avyagraya Namaha, Om Chitakrodhaya Namaha, Om Vinayashilaya Namaha, Om Svavashaya Namaha, Om Kushalaya Namaha, Om Shamaya Namaha, Om Satyadharmaya Namaha, Om Nirvikalpaya Namaha, Om Niraktaya Namaha, Om Atindraya Namaha, Om Satyasandhaya Namaha, Om Pavitraya Namaha, Om Madhura Svabhavaya Namaha, Om Suranandaya Namaha, Om Nandanaya Namaha, Om Prasanatmane Namaha, Om Bhaktanidhaye Namaha, Om Sakshaye Namaha, Om Samatmaye Namaha, Om Sadayogine Namaha, Om Haraye Namaha, Om Sutapaye Namaha, Om Samyaya Namaha, Om Bhuyaya Namaha, Om Vimuktaatmaya Namaha, Om Gabhiraya Namaha, Om Guptaya Namaha, Om Atmaramaya Namaha, Om Srinivasaya Namaha, Om Devaya Namaha, Om Yutidharaya Namaha, Om Dharyaya Namaha, Om Gurave Namaha, Om Duradikramaya Namaha, Om Gahanaya Namaha, Om Bhagavate Namaha, Om Harisharna Margadarshakaya Namaha, Om Kutasya Jagartakaya Namaha, Om Aviprayaya Namaha, Om Sarvamata Samatyaya Namaha, Om Shamagata Bhavavarakaya Namaha, Om Premavatar Sri Vishwananda Swami Namaha. Ato Deva Avantuno Yato Vishnur Vichakrame Pritivya Saptadamavihi Idam Vishnur Vichakrame Tredani Nade Padam Samo Dhamasya Pagum Sure Trini Pada Vichakrame Vishnur Gopa Ada Abhyaha Ato Dharmani Dharyene Vishnu Karmani Pashyatayato Vritani Paspashe Indrasya Yujasaka Tad Vishnu Paramam Paragam Sada Pashanti Suryaha Diveva Chakshuratatam Tad Vipraso Vipanyavo Jagravagam Sasamindhate Vishnu Yat Paramam Padam. Premavattaraya Dhimahe Sadgurudevaya Dhimahi Tanno Vishwananda Prachodayate. Om Premavattaraya Dhimahe Sadgurudevaya Dhimahi Tanno Vishwananda Prachodayate. Om Premavattaraya Dhimahe Sadgurudevaya Dhimahi Tanno Vishwananda Prachodayate. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Shri Krishna Vishnu Madhusudana Kaita Bhare Narayana Achyuta Trivikrama Chakrapane Daityadi Sarshadhara Sridhara Vasudeva Gopala Krishna Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Ruminisha Bhavanasha Hare Murare Radesha Gopisha Surupa Brahmani Vanya Shri Karakashtaya Vaikunta Pate Bhuvanaika Murte Gopala Deva Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Ninakrite Kamatharupa Varaha Murte Traivikramaya Muhane Guru Rama Rama Shri Rama Krishna Yadunandana Kalki Rupa Gopala Krishna Haraye Tava Suprabhatam Govinda Madhava Mukunda Parat Paresha Damodarakshatharananda Kadari Shori Go Gopa Gopi Jana Samprita Dina Bando Gopi Jana Priyaraye Tava Suprabhatam Shirakti Shai Bhujagali Patal Pashai Sadbhakta Sadhana Shai Ramanga Shai Shri Gopa Bhama Madhutalpa Sukhadi Shai Go Gopa Vallabhaye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Kashyapatri Sukhanarada Gautamadi Brahmarshi Sangamani Sangava Bharateshu Tishtanti Deva Tava Darshana Bharyaheshu Gopala Sekaraye Tava Suprabhatam Mandhara Chali Tulasina Lamalikadyahe Malyani Anjali Pute Samudaharanti Tishtanti Bhagavadadhara Tale Munindraha Radha Manoharaye Tava Suprabhatam Vedatrayam Patati Gautama Kanda Guyaha Gayanti Sadgunagano Varada Savargaha Sankirtayanti Tava Nama Katha Visheshaha Shri Naradari Rishaya Tava Suprabhatam Govardhano Dharana Gopa Kishora Gopa Gopi Janamrita Suvesha Bhavani Pota Trilokya Mohana Sumangala Virya Deha Shri Ruminisha Varada Tava Suprabhatam Shri Vatsachina Sharada Kataparijata Bhaktarti Vanjana Kripangaradhina Bando Nityantagayati Janapriya Ligarupa Shri Nanda Gopatanaya Tava Supravaktam Padmaksha Padmamukha Padmadhara Prameya Padmalaya Starita Padmanivasa Shori Padmodbhavati Surasevita Pada Padma Padmadhinata Haraye Tava Supravaktam Vrindatale Viharanaya Mahendra Vanya Kandarpadarpa Haratinya Sudesha Rupa Chandrananaya Sila Chandranalipta Deha Govindayana Varaye Tava Supravatam Shri Nandanandana Yashoda Kumara Dhira Mayangadhina Lavichona Supushpahara Nilam Buddha Susharira Namavihara Gopala Deva Haraye Tava Supravatam Shri Vaishni Jambavati Sanya Suganti Bhadra Shri Mitra Vinda Nivasa Prabhuputa Kadyahe Tishtanti Deya Bhavame Tava Sevanada Gopi Manapriyare Tava Supravatam Shri Krishna Achyuta Ananta Mukunda Shori Radha Manohara Janardana Chakrapane Namani Divya Munayona Nishambhadanti Brahmi Muhurta Samaye Tava Suprabhatam Shri Krishna Suprabhatam Ye Patanti Ahanisham Puri Kritan Mahapapam Shri Krishna Grahetukam Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Chintamani Prakara Satma Sukalpa Vriksha Laksha Vrteju Surabhira Vipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasrashata Samrama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Venum Kavantamaravinda Dalaya Taksham Paravatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpakotika Maniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Alola Chandra Kala Sarvana Marya Vamshi Radnangadam Pranaya Keli Kala Vilasam Shamam Tribhangalalitam Niyata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasya Sakalindriya Vrittimanti Pashanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jagati Ananda Chinmaya Saduchala Vigrahasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Advaitamachyutamanadi Manandarupa Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanamcha Vedesha Durlabhamadurlabhamatma Bhakto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Vantastu Koti Shatavatsana Sampragamyo Vayo Ratapi Manaso Munipungavanam Sopyasti Yatra Palasinya Vichintya Tave Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami sorachaitum jagadannakoti Yaschaktirasti jagadannachayaya dantaha Andantarasta paramanuchayantarastam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yadbhavavavitadiyo manujastateva Samprapya rupamanimasanayana bhusha Sukne yameva nigama pratitestuvanti Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Ananda chinmaya rasa pratibhavitavis Tavirja eva nicharupataya kalavihi Goloka eva nivasantya kilatma bhuto Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena Santasa deva hirayeshu vilokayanti Yanshama sundaramachitya gunasarupam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Ramadi purtishu kalani yamena tishta Nana vatala makaron bhuvaneshu kintu Krishna svayam samabhavat paramapumanyo Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yasya prabha prabhavato jagadannakoti Kotishvashesha vasudhadi vibhuti vinam Tantramanishkalamanantamashesha bhutam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Maya hi asya jagadanda shatani sute Traigunyata vishaya veda vitayamana Sadhavalambi parasattva vishuddha sattvam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Ananda chinmaya sattvataya manashu Yapraninam pratipalam svarayamupetya Lila itena bhuvanani jayati shastram Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Golokanamini janami tale chatasya Devi mahesha haritama suteshu teshu Tete prabhavani chaya vihitaschayena Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yaste sthite pralaya sadhana shakti rekha Jayeva yasya bhuvanani vibharti durga Ikshanurupamapi yasya chacheshtatesya Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Kshiram yatadadi vikara vishesha yoga Sanjayate nahi tata prithak asti heto Yashambhutam api tatha samupaiti karyat Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Dipachireva ila shantaramabhyupetya Dipayate vrivita etu samana dharma Yastatriyeva isha vishnutaya vipati Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yakarana Valajale Bhajati Smayoga Nidram Ananta Jagadanda Saroma Kupa Adhara Shakti Mavalam Yaparam Swamurti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasveikanisha Hitakala Matavalamya Jivanti Loma Vilaja Jagadandanatha Vishnur Mahasaya Yasya Kala Vishesho Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Bhasvanya Jashma Shakaleshu Nishesha Tejaha Shriyat Kiyat Pratyapayat Yapidadvadatra Brahmaya Esha Jagadanda Vidhana Karta Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yatpada Pallava Yugam Vinidaya Kumbha Tvanve Pranama Samaye Sanagani Raja Dignam Vidhantu Mamalasya Jagatrayasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Agnir Mahi Ganganam Ambud Marudishascha Kalastadadma Manasita Jagatrayani Yasmad Bhavanti Vibhavanti Vishanti Amcha Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yachat Suresha Savita Sakala Grahanam Raja Samasa Suramurti Ashesha Teja Yasyagnyaya Pramati Sambrita Kala Chakro Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Dharmo Tapapa Nichaya Shuddhayastapamsi Brahmani Gita Patagada Vayascha Jiva Yadatta Matra Vibhavam Prakata Prabhava Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yastvindra Gopa Matavendra Mahosa Karma Bandana Rupa Palabhaja Manatanoti Karmani Nirnahati Kintu Chabhakti Vacham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yam Krodha Kama Sahaja Pranayadi Vikti Vatsalya Moha Guru Gaurava Sevya Bhave Sanchintyatasya Sadishim Tamuna Purete Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha Anadiradi Govinda Salvakarana Karana Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Gurudev, good morning. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 10, Verse 1. So this is before what we call the Damodara Lila. Damodara Lila is when Krishna, he ran away from his mother, Yashoda, and she tried to bind him with a rope. And he goes between two trees. They're called Yamaljana trees. And nobody really knows in the village what's happening, but this little baby is crawling, pulling a mortar which was parked in the garden, and crawling between two trees, and then pulling the whole thing down. So imagine, I just have a picture in my mind of where I grew up. You have a garden, you have trees, you just have normal life, and then you have a baby in the house, and suddenly the baby would crawl outside with a mortar in the back and then pull two trees down. So this is what happened. And then it is said in the Bhagavatam that two beings were freed, and these were the two sons of Kuber. So Kuber is the treasurer of the heavens. So he has all the gold and all the riches under his, he's taking care of it. He's the administrator, so to say. And this one is about Parikshit asking, what originally happened actually? Why they were cursed to live in trees? Because when it said that they were freed, they were very luminous and very bright beings. So how does this fit together? And this is the verse which explains. So, Shri Rajuvacha Katayatam Bhagavata Tayo Sapasya Karanam Yatat Vigaridam Karma Yenava Devashistamaha. King Parikshit inquired from Shukadeva Goswami, O great and powerful saint, what was the cause of Nalakuravas and Manikrivas having been cursed by Narada Muni? What did they do that was so abominable that even Narada, the great sage, became angry at them? Kindly describe this to me. So a few things to bring the verse a little bit closer to you. So first of all, the names of these two sons of Kuber, they're mentioned here. So they said Nalakubara and Manikriva. And then they were cursed because they did something or they did not something appropriate. So they were cursed by this great sage Narada Muni. You know Narada from the Narada Bhakti Sutras. He also is pretty much the source of what we call the 9 forms of bhakti. And we have to know that, let's say if you know other accounts where Narada appeared, he's not so sensitive towards, I might say, Guru Aparat. So the offense toward the saint, right? Because, for example, Narada appeared in various episodes. For example, Guruji often tells the story of the transformation of the robber and murderer Ratnakar into the Saint Valmiki, who then wrote the Ramayana, right? So it was just because he was a murderer and then Narada appeared in front of him in the forest and said, you can kill me. And of course, he was not meeting immediately the ideal response and behavior from Ratnakar. So he's okay to actually confront someone. Narada, he appeared to Kamsa. So when the Krishna avatar, it has to be accelerated and they wanted to find a reason. So it was Narada who appeared in front of Kamsa and outwardly almost counseling, I don't want to say befriending him, but counseling him towards, you know, we really have to sort this out, who is the child that is going to kill you, etc. Might be the first one, might be the 8th one. So why not do away with all of them? So he's known as that super free saint. And here it is said that he cursed the two. And it is said that this was abominable behavior. And it said that this great saint Narada, he became angry at them. So leads me to, I wanted to talk a little bit about what is actually behavior, because we are on a spiritual path, and even if you're not on the spiritual path, so just being incarnated, it leads us all towards learning. And especially being on the bhakti path, looking a little bit more shallow, we might say, we're all yearning for God. Of course, this is not shallow per se, but actually what you're yearning for is your own ideal behavior towards God. Because being around God is one thing, but then how do we behave towards Him? That's another thing. And this is, regardless if you're looking for bhakti as an optimal behavior, or if you're just looking for self-help or some progress in your life, we are all actually longing for that, because we all know that we all have perfect behavior inside of us. So perfect behavior, we would say, is love. And I just wanted to give a little bit of an overview and connect a few things about why it might be important to strive for good behavior. And not, okay, you can strive for absorption in God, you can strive for this ultimate focus, but Guruji recently more and more, he emphasized that first of all, we have to become a human being, right? And I would say that what really qualifies a human being is the behavior. Is there an ideal or not so ideal behavior? And when it's said in this verse, that apparently there was not such an ideal behavior, which led to certain consequences. So first of all, I would say there's good behavior and bad behavior. And you see that in the opening of the Bhagavad Gita. So it clearly says there's a darker side and there's a lighter side with many shades of gray in between. And the good behavior is when you're rooted in love. When you're somehow rooted in trust that you're doing something right, and that leads you to believe I can do it again. And it works. And you gain confidence in that behavior, and it works. It's a good behavior. Then you have what we call bad behavior. So bad behavior is when you're rooted in fear. So the opposite of love is not really hatred or something, but it's actually fear. You're afraid of something. You're afraid of someone. You're afraid of something in yourself, maybe. And that would lead you to somehow cutting corners or crooked behavior where you don't really trust that you can do it in the right way. So you have good and bad behavior, but then we also have transcendental behavior. So Krishna in 1866, he says, go beyond all the dharmas. And when you connect to God Himself, then obviously, as we all know, you're pulled through your mountain peaks and valleys, and you just have to go through all of it. You know, we don't really look in the details so much anymore. We just have to go through it because we have one big good decision which is under. So good behavior, bad behavior, and then transcendental behavior. And how the boys, the sons of Kuber, they behaved, I would say in that way it was bad behavior. Yeah, because you can't offend a saint. They have earned certain merit and they were allowed to live somewhere around Lord Shiva's Kailash mountain. And then they were being naked with women, and then the saint comes by and they don't even care. So obviously very bad behavior. Which then led to punishment, etc. Which then also led to them being saved by Lord Krishna. So in the end, it's all, there's always a way to turn towards our ideal behavior. So, Hari Bhakta Sampradaya is we're all longing for to be a Hari Bhakta, right? So Hari Bhakta is actually someone who knows who is God, Hari, Narayana, and then it's someone who has found a behavior to behave towards him. We might think that thinking of Guruji, thinking of what or who is God, we all have to be romantic or ecstatic or in some way spectacular. But Guruji very often says that this bhakti, it manifests itself as service. Quite simple. And you don't really have to be spectacular. You don't really have to stand out of the crowd or be the highest sunflower in the garden. to actually live bhakti. So ideal behavior towards God is that at some point we feel inside that willingness to serve Him. It's not you have to do it. It's not, oh, I need to force myself to do it. But in some way you have crossed over your inner bad behavior, and you've also crossed in a way over your inner only good behavior, and you have found a point inside of you which actually you just want to serve God, regardless if you're a good or a bad character. And Krishna, he says that in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita also, is regardless what you did before, what matters if you have rightly resolved today, if you focus on me, if you have discovered me, and if you have discovered that you want to serve me, engage in bhakti, then that is the ultimate behavior. It's not that you have reached God then, but that you have reached your perfect behavior towards Him, which is what we call devotional service, okay? And we do things in life to lie to ourselves, or we have more or less successful attempts to change our behavior. So for example, like the most superficial is you might see an advertising, and then you might want to buy the latest perfume, which some of your idols or stars they have created. I don't know, the perfume of some Hollywood star or some famous brand. And we put it on, and we want to feel a little bit like that person. We want to feel a little bit different than we actually are. But it probably won't lead to real change of behavior. It's like you try to cover a fat belly by wearing an XXL t-shirt, but the belly is still there. But you can feel a little bit more as if you would not have that belly. You want to wear the most fancy dress. You want to be like somebody. I don't know, people wear watches like James Bond or drive the latest car. If you look at James Bond movies, I think it's just a action-filled commercial. So there's many products there, and obviously people want to buy these products because they want to feel like the guy who's doing these actions. I also like James Bond movies, but it's really it's geared towards that. People think there is a quick and dirty way to change behavior, so let's change the dress. We also do it. Let's just change the dress and we're different. No, it's not that quick, right? Then going a little bit deeper, people go into bookstores. Maybe they buy self-help books. They might even find the Bhagavad Gita or excellent commentaries of Bhakti Marga. And that is already actually a step. Yeah, because you start to open yourself towards, there is something else than only outside. There is something else actually, because we all know, if you truly change your behavior, outside will reflect. If you don't really change your behavior in the mind, outside also will not reflect. So just that, let's say we put on a dress, or I think Guruji often criticizes like this, you just put a dress and you dress in whatever way, then it doesn't necessarily mean that immediately all that love, all that holiness, it will get reflected to you, because we are not yet loving and holy. Huh? Different associations, so sanghas, if you look in the world, what kind of sanghas, even within Bhakti Marga, you have different cliques or groups, sanghas, project teams, etc. And they vibrate differently. So there's different people working in these groups, and if you extend that to whatever tribes or groups, associations you have in the world, you find yours. Because it is in the beginning, it is vibrating like you, and you want to be with the people that have the same behavior, that are on that same wavelength as you. And like this, people come together and people find also their spiritual guru like this. Guruji says there doesn't have to be a guru for all the world, but each one they find their appropriate master. Then going even a little bit deeper, we might want to discover, my behavior gets reflected in my life. So when we have discovered that somehow putting on an outer dress or only reading it doesn't help, then we might really say, okay, what did I see today? What did trigger me today? And that's actually my behavior. So for example, if somebody is really keen on criticizing other people, pointing out their mistake, it might also point towards his mistakes or her mistakes. Or if you go out and say, I don't like this, I don't like that, then it might very much point towards what we don't like about ourselves. And we know that. It's very simple, actually. It's not so complicated. And the closer we get to love, actually, the more simple it gets. Satsangs of Guruji, he said the form to associate with him is mostly through his teaching, and then in that way would be through his satsang, because through the satsang you absorb ideal behavior, because the ideal behavior from him, it comes to the form of his feeling, his vibration, his purity, and of course that will jump over to your being, and then that will actually really go deep. And recently again, when I listened to Guruji's satsangs, it's just like that. And what he says in general is that satsang, it removes the craving of the mind. It removes that addiction to worldly outside pleasures that lead us to desires, greed, anger, frustration, ruin, etc. So there's different ways how people try to actually change their behavior, and they're more or less successful because they are more or less superficial or deep. But in the end, we all want to successfully change our behavior. And maybe that's even the bottom line of a spiritual path here in Bhakti Marga, because people maybe have different, how they measure their performance in Bhakti Marga. You might measure it to how many minutes can I spend in the direct presence of Guruji? And I think that's for sure valid. Because he says, be around the master when he's here. There's other people who might measure their success in Bhakti Marga according to how many minutes of seva they got done successfully, or they have contributed in some way. And I do believe that now in Bhakti Marga, since we're going more global and being more institutionalized, that now a shift in behavior is also coming. That means that we all truly open up, and that it's not so much prevalent anymore that we judge each other or that we point fingers at each other, but actually support each other. Right now we might be still in a phase of competition and greatness, but I think we do move to a behavior of understanding and fairness. Because otherwise there's also no point in representing Guruji. So that will be another addition to how to measure your performance in Bhakti Marga, is to how is your behavior compared to maybe 3 or 5 years ago. Maybe just another short excursion about behavior, how we see it in the Bhagavad Gita, because most of you, I can ask you, what is the Bhagavad Gita about? Yeah, it's a dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. And then what do they say? Where does it lead to? So it opens up with a crash in behavior. Like nothing is moving because Arjuna, he cannot go backwards, not fighting. He cannot go forward, fighting. And then Krishna says, if you go backwards, forward, you will incur sin. So the only perfect behavior will be just focus on me, doing what you have to do. And then we have the whole mysterious outset of the Bhagavad Gita. So it's starting in a war setting where you have the so-called Kaurava and the Pandava army. And there is, of course, an inside parallel to it. So what does it mean? So we have the blind king, Dhritarashtra, who's not there, actually, but he's watching, and his sons are the bad ones, and they cannot see the good qualities of the good ones, the Pandavas. So the whole Bhagavad Gita as it is an explanation, it is a metaphor for what is happening inside of us. Because our blind mind, the Dhritarashtra inside of us, we cannot accept the good qualities of the self. the Pandavas, that are obviously inside of you. So let's say that the Pandava, with their humility and with their collection of good qualities, they represent that self inside of us. And Krishna, on the side of the Pandavas, and also says in the commentary, is that he is the self of the self. So God is the core of that divine self, of that divine light that we carry inside of you. Now what happens is when we drift into non-ideal behavior, that we give power to our Dhritarashtra, and we say, no, I can't see this. I can't see how I can be good or successful in this situation. I can't see how I can be powerful or successful in love going through this or that challenge in life. And then we give more power to the Kaurava inside of us. But as we know from the Mahabharata, as we know from like how the whole thing is driving, it is always towards winning of the good side. You find that in all small stories and legends and children's stories, wherever. It's always about transcending the bad, the Kaurava, and arriving at the goodness inside of you, at that ideal behavior. So next time when you're going through the challenge, obviously you will meet a Kaurava. Obviously you will meet that Dhritarashtra inside of you who will tell you, no, you don't have that good quality. You don't have the capacity to do this. And remember that we all have the self inside of you, which is Pandava, and that you don't reject that self. I don't even say reject yourself, but that what you would do, you reject the self in general, because that same self is in everyone. And when you reject, let's say, a positive quality which is and which must be inside of you, then obviously you reject it in others as well. And Krishna, who is the self of the self, you reject him all along in that aspect. So ideal behavior, it goes towards not making ourselves weak, but you more and more, you kind of become at peace and you accept that you have this Pandava self inside of you, and that at some point you must side with it, and that you cannot believe in the Dhritarashtra, or that you somehow have to see on which side Krishna is. All right, so bhakti in the terms of what is ideal behavior, and just as an inspiration to you as to what are you striving for? Are you striving to be on every pilgrimage with Guruji? Are you striving to consume as many Bhakti Marga activities as possible? Are you striving for being seen in performance? Or are you striving for physical nearness of the Master? Are you striving for whatever is your means of measurement? Or seeing Bhakti, as we all on this Bhakti Marga, this path towards Bhakti inside of you, is to really try and find this ideal behavior inside of you, which is perfect, which is love, which is completely resolute. Because in the Bhagavad Gita, you don't only have Pandava, Kaurava, etc., but in the end, Krishna says you have to make the right resolve. You have to find me, you have to find God. Yeah, and I would say that perfect behavior, it is ecstatic. It is what we have always yearned for. It's inside of us. We all know it. And it's very much worthy striving for that every day. Jai Gurudev.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Pralaya Vakshaha Hiranyakashipur Vakshaha Hiranyakashipur Vakshaha Shilatankanakalaye 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 Hito Narasimha Parato Narasimho Hito Narasimho Parato Narasimho Hito Narasimho Parato Narasimho Hito Narasimho Parato Narasimho Yato Yato Yamitato Narasimho Yato Yato Yamitato Narasimho Yato Yato Yamitato Narasimho Yato Yato Yamitato Narasimho Bahi Narasimho Ridaye Narasimho Bahi Narasimho Ridaye Narasimho Bahi Narasimho Ridaye Narasimho Bahi Narasimho Ridaye Narasimho Narasimha Madim Sharanam Prapadye Narasimha Madim Sharanam Prapadye Narasimha Madim Sharanam Prapadye Narasimha Madim Sharanam Prapadye Tavakara Kamalavare Nakamadutta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tarubringa Keshavadhirita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Pravakara Kamalavare Nakamadutta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa Keshavadhirta Narahari Rupa Jagadisha Hare Jayo Jagadisha Hare Jayo Jagadisha Hare Keshavadhirta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Keshavadhirta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Narasimhadev 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 Jai Narasimhadev Jai Narasimhadev 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 Jai Narasimhadev Jai Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Bhakta Swarupa Jai Prahlad Maharaj Jai Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Bhakta Swarupa Jai Prahlad Maharaj Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Vishwananda Gurudev 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 Shri Vishwananda Gurudev Shri Vishwananda Gurudev 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 Shri Vishwananda Gurudev Shri Vishwananda Hari Bol Shri Vishwananda Guru Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Yatindraya Karunakaraya Mangala Mangalame Yatindraya Karunakaraya Mangala Mangalame Prapartidalmai Karataya Mangala Mangalame Prapartidalmai Karataya Mangala Mangalame Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Saligrama Pratishtitaya Mangala Mangalame Saligrama Pratishtitaya Mangala Mangalame Tridangadharini Godakachaya Mangala Mangalame Tridangadharini Godakachaya Mangala Mangalame Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Range Sakenkaya Rataya Mangala Mangalame Range Sakenkaya Rataya Mangala Mangalame Mananataya Darine Charaya Mangala Mangalame Mananataya Darine Charaya Mangala Mangalame Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Ramanuja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Yatiraja Ramanuja Mangala Mangalame Mangala Mangalame Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Swami Jai Jagadisha Hare Bhakta Janon ke Sankata Dasa Janon ke Sankata Shana me dura kare Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Jo jave pala pave Dukha vina se manaka Swami dukha vina se manaka Sukha sampati gara ave Sukha sampati gara ave Kashtami te tanaka Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Mata Pita Tuma Mere Sharanaga Hume Kisaki Swami Sharanaga Hume Kisaki Tuma Bina Aura Na Duja Tuma Bina Aura Na Duja Asa Karume Kisaki Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Tuma Purana Paramatma Tuna Antarayami Swami Tuma Antarayami Para Brahma Parameshwara Para Brahma Parameshwara Tuma Sabake Swami Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Tuma Karuna Ke Sagar Tuma Palana Karata Swami Tuma Palana Karata Main Sevaka Tuma Swami Main Sevaka Tuma Swami Kripa Karo Bharata Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Tuma Ho Eka Agochar Sabake Pranapati Swami Sami Sabake Pranapati Kisa Vidi Milom Dayamaya Kisa Vidi Milom Kripamaya Tumako Mai Kumadi Om Jayo Jagadisha Hare Dina Bandhu Dukha Harta Tumhara Shaka Mere Swami Tumhara Shaka Mere Karuna Hata Badhao Karuna Hata Badhao Sharana Pada Tere Om Jaya Jagadisha Hare Vishaya Vikara Vitao Papa Haro Deva Swami Papa Haro Deva Shraddha Bhakti Badhao Shraddha Prema Badhao Santana Ki Seva Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Dana Mana Dana Sabha Hai Tera Sami Sabha Kucha Hai Tera Sami Sabha Kucha Hai Tera Tera Tuja Ko Arpan Tera Tuja Ko Arpan Kya Lage Mera Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Sami Jai Jagadisha Hare Bhakta Janon Ke Sankata Dasa Janon Ke Sankata Shaname Dura Kare Om Jai Jagadisha Hare Mane Chakara Koji Gidhari Ala Chakara Koji Gidhari Ala Chakara Koji Gidhari Ala Chakara Koji Mane Chakara Koji Gidhari Ala Chakara Koji Gidhari Ala Chakara Koji Gidhari Ala Chakara Koji Chakara Ko Chakara Ko Chakara Koji Chakara Ko Chakara Ko Chakara Koji Shama Mane Chakara Koji Gidhari Lala Chakara Koji Govinda Mane Chakara Koji Gidhari Lala Chakara Koji Gidhari Lala Chakara Koji Gidhari Lala Chakara Koji Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhushya Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Guna Asatoma Sagamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mritrorma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Om Shanti 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 Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om
Prem se bolo Lakshmi Narayana Bhagavan ki Prem se bolo Sri Bhutabhrteshwarnath Bhagavan ki Prem se bolo Shri Radha Krishna Kanhaiya Lala ki Prem se bolo Mahavatara Kriya Baba ji ki Prem se bolo Shri Ramuja Acharya ki Prem se bolo Sadguru Deva Sri Swami Vishwananda Mahaprabhu ki
Krishnaya Govindaya Gopi Jana Vallabhaya Paraya Paramapurushaya Parakarma Mantra Yantra Tantra Oshadhashta Shastrani Samrai Samrai Michur Mochai Mochai Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Diti Jalapratai Savanik Shubrahum Bhat Parashmaye Parabrahmane Pramjyotishe Swaha Om Shanti 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 Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om Jai Jai Shri Radhe
Jivasmanam Govinda, Bhaktavatsala Govinda, Pundarika Varade, Ekanath Namdeva, Pandarinath Maharaj ki, Rukmini Maharani ki, Samasta Bhakta Mandali ki, Alvaran Purvara Thiruvalikale Sharana.